go, you can kayak. Work it like 3 jobs, ready for a vacate. Like it when we touch down, like it when we spontaneous. So I work as hard as I play. I'm trying to see you in the moonlight, so you can meet me by the poolside. I know you're looking for a good time, yeah. But listen, baby, you just show. This is not a drill, this is how I feel. Pop champagne, I'ma do it for the thrill. Escape with me, I'm saying that maybe we could take off and then land on a jet ski. Baby, I'll hold you tight. Top shelf with the dash, show you right.
What is up, DZ music lovers? This is your boy DZ, and this is DZ Music, where music equals life. It is a brand new year, and I want to say a happy belated Happy New Year to everyone. I want to also thank everyone who has taken the time out to watch my videos, to comment on my videos. Thank you so much for everybody who enjoyed the Christmas series, and I want to also thank everybody who subscribed to the channel, who left comments again, and who shared my videos. Appreciate it so much. We are in 2025, and it is a brand new year for brand new music. I'm excited to see what's to come, and I hope you are also. So with that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's dive into our first album of the year. Our first artist of the new year is a relatively new on the music scene. Been around for a few years, but they just released their debut album, and they go by the name of Flow. Flow is a girl group, something that we have not had in a while. Actually, it's been, I think the last girl group we had out was the last one to last was like Little Mix. So it has been a number of years before we had like a legitimate girl group back in the fold. And I am so excited because I miss girl groups. I miss 3, 4, 5 part harmonies. You know, I love, you know, all the dramatics and everything that goes with a girl group, and I just think girl groups are amazing. So to have a girl group back on the scene is amazing. Flow is made up of 3 members. There are there's Georgia, Renee, and Stella, and they are actually British. So I was excited to hear what their debut album is, and let's get into it right now. Flow, Access All Areas. You know how we do it. First track on the album, Access All Areas by Flow, is actually an intro. Now, intros haven't been a thing for a while now. I listened to this album so many times, and I can tell you this much: there is genius to the madness, and Flow and whoever your producers are, whoever your team is, I see you. But anyway, let's get into the intro. So the intro is featuring none other than the star of Wicked herself, Broadway music television star, Miss Cynthia Erivo. And Cynthia Erivo is doing this origin story of Flow for us. That is poetry. That is like a fable. It is so beautifully done, and anybody with a British accent, really, you know, once they narrate something, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta listen to this. But I have to say, she does an awesome job narrating the girls' story. And also we first get a glimpse of the harmonies of Flow in this intro. It is a smooth, it is R&B, it is nice, it is that happy, that good feeling sounding intro, and it is amazing. And you hear their harmonies for the first time on this album, And I don't know about you. I don't know any of Flo's other works. I saw other stuff they had, but this was like my first intro to them and their harmony. I was like, okay, we going somewhere with this. But the intro is very nice. It actually leads right into the second track on the album, which we're gonna get into right now. Second track on the album after the intro, and I love how they did this. The second track is actually the title track of the album, Access All Areas. Now, how they did this was amazing because it flowed right into, see how I did that? Flow. You see your boy. But it flowed right into the second song on the album, which is again Access All Areas. So they did this like flow, and it goes right into the second song on the album, and Access All Areas, and they do this ba-da-da-da-dum-da. You hear those harmonies? So let's explore. Come take a tour. Access all areas. Nothing to know. Oh, I love this track. What a great way to actually be the first song on the album. Access All Areas is a fun, sensual R&B vibe beat that gives you reminiscence of the way, like the way only a girl group can like seduce you or not seduce, persuade you, come let's explore, access all areas. And their harmonies are on point. The harmonies are on point on this. I love it. I love how it's kind of throwbacky kind of sound in it. It has like kind of a almost like a 70s like funky kind of vibe going on in the production here, and the girls sound amazing on it. It's not hard. It doesn't sound like they're even trying. It's just sensual. It's a good way to open up the album on the first actual song on the album. So Access All Areas, good title for the album and good choice for the first actual song on there. Track number 3 on the album we have is In My Bag, featuring my friend in my head, Glorilla. Now, any track I hear Glorilla on, I am going to get excited about, just because I love Gorilla. I really do. So, In My Bag is a fun, upbeat R&B track that has the feeling of early 2000s in it. It really does. And I love the message of the song because it does give me reminiscence of when girl groups and when music was just simple. When it didn't have to be explicit or anything else to be a hit. In My Bag is simply talking about when you see me in my bag, or I'm in my bag. It's a good track to follow Access All Areas, because you have Access All Areas that is kind of, like I said, sensual, and then you come into In My Bag and you have Glorilla and you have this really upbeat R&B vibe on In My Bag. And then the kicker is Glorilla's verse on this is just amazing. Like, I just love Glorilla. They did it so right to put Glorilla on this track. Like, it's the song is like in her vibe. It's in her wheelhouse, and she does a great job on her verse on this. After her verse, the ladies come back in and the beginning of the song, we don't hear too much of their harmonies. But coming towards the end of it, they split up the harmonies a lot, and they do kind of a round kind. You know how a round is, where it's like, in my bag, in the bag, in my bag. One person singing, the next person singing, da 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 da. And it is actually amazing. I loved how they did like that round. In My Bag is a bop to me. Like, I feel good listening to it. Like, I'm in my bag, I'm doing my thing. So stay in your bag, everybody. Next track on the album we have is Walk Like This. Walk Like This is an R&B track. It is an upbeat track. But for me on this album, this is where I got engaged. This is where I really started to listen. Do you know sometimes like when you see like, you go to a movie and you see like a preview and you see like 3-4 previews, or you watch something, but I don't know, maybe you're into something, but it takes to a certain point for you to get fully engaged. Walk Like This is where I got fully engaged in this album. It totally transformed me back to the early 2000s. It is a fun, like I said, upbeat song. It is girl group. It is girl empowerment. There's a reason why I walk like this. When it's such a good track, and for me, like I said, it really transformed me back. And it was like, okay, I'm vibing to this. There's a reason why I walk like this. And it's this song that you want to put back on repeat. So Walk Like This is a bop. The harmonies at the end are crazy. And I noticed something with this. They did a great job with the production on this song because it built. It built, and then they started layering their vocals over it towards the end. Amazing track. So Walk Like This. If this was like, say Today or Tomorrow, I'm just saying, if this was like just the first track on the album and we didn't have Access All Areas or In My Bag, would be phenomenal, would be hit. I wouldn't even miss it, because Walk Like This is a bop. Track number 5 on the album, man, Flo, y'all need to stop playing with me. Y'all need to stop playing with your boy. This here. Track number 5. How does it feel? Let's get into it. Straight banger. Straight banger. I love this track. Now, I have to say, this is a bop, because from beginning to end, tell me, how does it feel to have the baddest? That last girl you have was da-da-da-da. If we keep, I'm still learning the lyrics. Don't do me. How does it feel? How does it feel? This jam right here is the jam you put on when you are feeling it, you are feeling yourself, you are getting ready, you are going out, you looking good. Man, this is it. I had to say, this album is such a feel-good album, man. I think the girls did a really good job on this. The production on How Does It Feel? Crazy. And again, it is R&B at its best, man. My God, if this album totally transformed you. And that's why I said Flo did an awesome job, because, okay, let's break this down right quick. So music, I don't know if you know this about music, but music comes in waves. Like, sounds come in waves. You know how they say nothing's new under the sun, it just repeats itself and shows itself kind of in different ways? Same thing applies to music. So if you notice, like, for the last, I would say 5 or 6 years in music, there was a switch. Everybody was doing like this 80s, there was this revival of 80s sound. And so that was the thing. We had the Dua Lipas, we had, even on Beyonce's album, we had The Weeknd, we had Ariana, everybody was doing it, right? So then now, I think that is dying off, and like Flow is being preemptive, and they are getting ahead of the curve for this revival of 90s and 2000s sounding R&B and music. That's why I say this is smart. This album was very, 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 very smartly and put together very good. But I digress. How does it feel? It feels good. It feels really good. It's 2025, and How Does It Feel is a bop. It's on my gym playlist, and anytime somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'll be like, how does it feel? I just love this track, man. It makes me feel good. It gives me energy. It is a banger, so make sure you listen to How Does It Feel. I can't say enough good things about it, and I can't stop smiling about it, because the album is so good. It really is. How does it feel, man? Walk Like This, coming from that to this, straight banger. Next track on the album we have is Soft. And I just need to say, Flo, I need y'all to stop playing with my emotions like this. Like, okay, so we go from How Does It Feel to Soft, and they do this transition into Soft that is simply just like, I heard it and I was like, oh. I really was like, y'all are playing with me, man. Y'all really are. Because they go from how does it feel? And they go right into Soft. And then you get to this like this total 90s groove song that is totally girl group. And this is where you get to really, they slow it down on Soft, and you get to hear their harmonies. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Soft is a smooth, sensual, soft. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Soft is a smooth, sensual vibe. It is, again, R&B at its best. It is 90s R&B. The production was crazy. I like how they kind of made it. I'm trying to remember the girl group who had a sound kind of like this, because it's one particular song, and I can't put my finger on it right now, that it totally reminds me of from the 90s. But Soft will make you feel good. It'll make you feel sensual, ladies. If you need to get into that mood, Soft is the way to go. Great job on it. We move from Soft into Check. What, might as well check. This album is reliving my youth. It really is. Check is an upbeat R&B jam that is just pure feel good music. Like, this reminds me of when I was young and in school, and we used to have this thing, we used to have school dances, but we did it after like on Fridays. I think you paid like $1 or so or whatever to get into the dance, and it was like the last hour of school, and all these kids, we would pack into the gymnasium, and it would just be a good time, and the DJ would be going, and you would just be vibing with your friends, having that good time before the weekend. Nobody cared about anything. It was just a bop. Everybody was like trying to show off their latest dance move. If this song was back then, this would have been on the playlist, on the DJ playlist. It just gets me, cause it feeling so good, yeah. Check, it's a bob. It's a bob. Hands down. Okay, I gotta turn my hat around for this one. So the next track on the album we have is On and On. Now, On and On is an R&B track again. It reminisces of the early 2000s, 90s R&B. I told you they know what they're doing. If there was one track on this album, and there are a few, but if there was one track to go back to over and over again, for me, being a 90s, 80s baby, growing up in the 90s, this would be it. You better be ready for it. We can go on and on. It is girl group at its best. It really is, man. Like, it is a R&B group at its best. Girl group. It is amazing. On and On is smooth. It is sensual. It is that vibe. I don't know what that is I was doing right there. But I need high speed. Throw it out the window, man. On and On, man. Like, I've listened to this album, but I have played On and On, and it has been going on and on on my playlist. Great R&B jam, capturing the sound of the early 2000s, 90s girl group, and the vibe of the era is it's insane how they did the production on this. Like I said, they killed it. On and On. The ladies sound amazing. The harmonies are amazing. On and On it's that girl. It's that girl. Yeah. Flo, you flowing. You flowing right now. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention on the song On and On is there is a sample, and I'm 95% sure that it is Usher's song, from his 1997 album, My Way. It's a sample of his song, You Make Me Wanna, that is in On and On. Genius. Just putting that out there. Okay, now we can get back to it. All right, we can turn the hat back around. So, next track on the album we have is Bending My Rules. And there's a genius here too, also because, like every girl group, you gotta kind of slow it down a way so you can actually hear the vocals over the production. And that is what they do on, I can't fix my hat. There we go. On this track, Bending My Rules. But I'm nervous, I don't do this for anyone but bending my rules. So here we go. On this track, we get a slowed down version. We go from On and On with that nice, we get Bending My Rules. And I love the production on this because it's simple. It's a simple beat. It's an R&B beat again, but it's a simple beat. But the star or the gem for this is the vocals. The girls take center stage with this song. It is an amazing song. You can hear their vocals perfectly. You can hear their harmonies perfectly. And that is what you love about girl groups and groups in general, is because you want to hear what they can do together, how they mesh together. And the thing I like about Flo is that you can tell that they weren't just no fly by night. Oh, they was just put together. You can tell that they worked on this, that they have a bond, they have a relationship, because it shows when you hear them sing. And Bending My Rules is great. It is, but I'm nervous, I don't do. Such a great song. It is so R&B. It is so R&B 2000s. Do you trust my love? Love. So the next track on the album, it is an interlude. It's called Trustworthy. The reason there is not a lot of fanfare for this is because I'm mad. I'm mad because it should have been a full track. It should have been at least 5 minutes. And there was no reason for you in 1 minute and whatever seconds it is to choke me like this. Do you know what I mean? It was you did it. Flo, you didn't have to do that. Like, I feel like someone was yanking me by the collar and just left me there. You hyped me up, you got me excited on Trustworthy, and then you just left me there to rot. Trustworthy, okay, I will give it. It's great. It's wonderful. It's amazing, actually. I actually like it. Not like it, I actually love it. So much that it should have been a full song. I'm getting emotional about this a little bit. Trustworthy is great. I love this track. Do you trust my... It is emotions. Don't you miss that? I miss that. You miss that from girl groups and from groups in general. Like, it is emotion. It is pure. It is just and they had the audacity, the gall to just make it an interlude. Why? What did we do to you? What I mean, release it. Release the full song. If it's just supposed to be an interlude, go back in the studio and finish the song. That's all I asked. Yeah. So there's that. Next track on the album we have is Caught Up. So we come from Trustworthy. Sorry, I still feel a way about that. Well, okay, so we come from Trustworthy and we get into Caught Up. Now, Caught Up, again, is an R&B groove, so reminiscent of the 2000s, so reminiscent. The girls come in and it's like, they do this, who, I can't do it, but you can hear their harmonies in it. You say you don't know that girl, but she don't, so man, don't get caught up, don't get caught up, don't get caught up. And again, it's such a fun track. It is mid-tempo, but it is, what I like about it is so not what is out right now. And they did this on purpose. I know they did. It is so not what is out right now. And it is so pushing us to get back to that era of that 90s, 2000s R&B. And I would say this track more so is more 2000s. Yeah. 2000s girl group R&B. Caught Up. I like this track. It just puts me back in nostalgia, as does the whole album. But yeah, Caught Up is just, yeah, it makes you feel good. Not only makes me feel good, but it's the vibe of it. It's kind of it's a little guitar driven, kind of, with the R&B beat in it, and it's mid-tempo, and it's not they're not doing a lot in it, but the harmonies are good in it. So Caught Up is yeah, it's a bop. It's a bop. I just thinking about it, like, and I think what they did on this album was they really wanted people to be like nostalgic, because for people in my age group, 40s, hey, how y'all doing? It really does make you feel. It brings back memories. It does. It's a good track. Caught Up is awesome. The next couple tracks on the album we have is I Would Hate to Be My Ex and Nocturnal. Now, the reason I'm doing these both together because it is clearly that both of these tracks were produced by the same person. And the genius of these two tracks is that they flow right into each other. The vibe, not the vibe, the beat and the production of it is literally the same, and it builds when the song switches to Nocturnal. So that's why we're doing both of these together. These two songs are like the first two songs on the album where we hear a more up-to-date, or if one would say today's sound on these two songs. I would say I Would Hate to Be My Ex is a little bit I think that's what they did. It's a little bit slower. Not slower, a little bit more like one-dimensional. It doesn't have a lot of range in it. It's not a bad song, but it's kind of like flatline. You don't hear anything much as far as production going into it, and you don't hear much from the ladies in it as far as vocals. They're good, but it's more of a trappy kind of sounding beat on it. I like it. Do I skip it? No. Do I skip Nocturnal? No, because Nocturnal, the genius with Nocturnal is because the production enhances with Nocturnal, and I actually like Nocturnal. I like it more than I Would Hate to Be My Ex, because I Would Hate to Be My Ex, I mean, both of these tracks, honestly, if you were listening to this album, it's not a throw off because you have this whole body of work, and then you get to these two tracks and it's like, oh, these are different. These are sounding different. But they sound different because it's a split between the two eras. So you have this 90s, 2000s going all the way here. Then you get to I Would Hate to Be My Ex, and then Nocturnal, and it's a totally different vibe. They are good songs. They are, if I was a producer and I had to say so with this album, I would probably put these two on like the re-release of the album, or as extra tracks. I don't think I would have put them right in the middle of this, because you have such a vibe of nostalgia going from track number 1 all the way here, and then you have these two that, I mean, they work, but they don't fit in that great with what we have gone through so far, if that makes sense. So I Would Hate to Be My Ex and Nocturnal, good tracks. I would have just probably put them on an extended version of this album. Are we done for good, baby? Shoulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Next track on the album is Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda. Yeah, next track on the album. So here is where we pick back up. So we go from I Would Hate to Be My Ex and Nocturnal. Like I said, if I could have just take those two and just rearrange them a little bit, move them, and put shoulda, coulda, woulda right next to what was the last song? Caught Up. Yes, if I could have moved those two and put it back to, if I could have moved Nocturnal and I Would Hate to Be My Ex, and then put shoulda, coulda, woulda right in that spot next to it, there would be no skips on this album. So shoulda, woulda, coulda again is an R&B influenced track, really reminiscent of the 1990s, and really the beat in the production. That's why I say these people are smart. They are smart because it's not quite kinda, but it is kinda. It has influences of Aaliyah's 1 in a Million. Shoulda, coulda, woulda been me and you. Shoulda. And you will hear it when you listen to it. I was like, Wait, is that Aaliyah? Is that 1 in a Million? Great track by the ladies. They sound amazing on it. They actually sound... They really got the sound of the 90s and the 2000s down. Like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's an amazing track. It's an R&B track. It's when it comes to us. And you hear their harmonies on that shoulda. Insane. I love shoulda, coulda, woulda. Isn't it different? Isn't it like shoulda, woulda, coulda? It is. That's right. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, that's right. What am I saying? Next track on the album we have is Get It Till I'm Gone. Now, again, this is influencing early 2000s. This one is really early 2000s R&B girl group sounding. He ain't gonna get it till I'm gone. He ain't gonna get it. He ain't gonna get it till he ain't gonna get it. Do you remember in the early 2000s when everyone was everyone was doing this kind of like futuristic kind of sound, and it was like kind of not just futuristic, but it was also kind of what was it? They were experimenting with like instruments and like they were with like sounds of like, you know, like toys would make and stuff like that. That's what they did in the early 2000s. And then I think like somebody went a little bit too far with it, and they was like, "Whoa, okay, we're done with this." I won't say that was not called for, bro. But anyway, Get It Till I'm Gone is a great track. It really is 2000 sounding. He ain't gonna get it till I'm gone. He ain't gonna get it till I'm leaving. That's my favorite part in this track because I hear their harmonies and I hear that it's amazing, man. Great job on Get It Till I'm Gone flow. Last track on the album, Access All Granted by Flo. I know it's the last one, and it is I'm Just a Girl. Now, I'm Just a Girl. I like this track. I do. I like it. It's girl empowerment. It's girl power. It's kind of it's not futuristic. It has more of a rock feel to it. I'm just a girl. So if anything, this is like the only like legitimate pop song on this album. It's not a bad track. I don't think it fits with the album. I think I would have, again, put this on maybe a re-release extra track. I wouldn't have put it on the album itself. I think I would have put, honestly, I would have put Get It Till I'm Gone, and then I probably would have ended it with Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda. Yeah, I think that would have worked if we were like kind of keeping it, because the flow of the album and the way the tracks are laid out thus far until we get here is pretty good. Is really, really good. They did a really, really good job on it. So I think coming towards the end, I wouldn't have changed, like rearranged much. I would have probably just changed those two because those two fit into the flow of the album, and I would have moved Nocturnal and I Would Hate to Be My Ex and I'm Just a Girl and put those on like an extended version of the album. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm Just a Girl, like I said, it's fun, it's upbeat, it is a legitimate pop song from the girls. I like it because it's an anthem. I think all girl groups kind of do an anthem, and girls always need another anthem. Girl power. there you have it, everyone. The album Access All Areas by Flow. And what they did on this album was flow. They let it flow. If you know the song, you know the song. But I will tell you, you need to download this album. You need to stream it. You need to play it. You need to shout out the ladies, Georgia, Renee, and Stella, and let them know that you love the album. It was released in November of last year, and I think it did for me. Because it was in the midst of all the Christmas stuff. It didn't get. I don't know. It didn't for me. It didn't get the shine that it deserved. So go download it, stream it. It is an awesome album. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for everyone who subscribed. Thank you to everybody who comment, who likes these videos, who likes me talking about music. And it is kind of weird, right? Because I'm talking about music, I'm talking about albums, but I'm not playing them. Well, as you know, copyright, I can't play the albums here, but I thought it was such a great idea just to be able to talk about it, and you know, because I've listened to these, and then you guys can go and listen and flood the comments and let me know what is your favorite track on the album. What do you think of my review? Do you think it's trash? I'm just playing. Oh, do you like it? Thank you again so much. Make sure you follow me on all social medias. On Instagram, it's DEEZEEMUSIC84. TikTok, while it's still around, DEEZEEMUSIC84. And right here on YouTube. And make sure you tune in every Tuesday, every Thursday for brand new videos of album reactions. And listen, add these albums to your playlist. Yeah, you know, every time we go through one, we'll add it to the playlist. Until next time, this is your boy DZ. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in the next review. Peace.
Yippee-ki-yo, yippee-ki-yay, working like 3 dots, ready for a vacate. Like it when we touch down, like it when we spontaneous. So I work as hard as I play now. I'm trying to see you in the moonlight, so you can meet me by the poolside.